Hello?
Hello.
Hear me okay?
Yes.
Alrighty. Give me 1 second. Start up screen share. Let me know when you can see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okie dokie. So so playing Varus against Tristana, Alistar, Thresh support. Are you duoed with anyone?
No.
Okay.
I only play solo.
Okay, so Varus, Thresh. Let me just make sure you guys both leashed. YouTube, fucking YouTube. Alright, so you leashed, they're late. Okay, so double leash. Yeah, okay, definitely double leash. Could fake, I guess, but pretty low chance. Okay, auto attack all these. Good. Okay, so before we get, sorry, before we get too deep into it. So tell me what you know about this lane matchup.
I don't think I should play at max range constantly to avoid Alistar. And I guess just play with Thresh, because if Tristan and Alistar get the jump on me and Thresh is not like next to me, I'll just die.
Okay. So really want to abuse the level 1, 2 in this lane before Alistar gets combo. Like level 1 Alistar is like useless. He can get headbutt and push you away from pushing the wave, but aside from that, he doesn't really do anything unless you let yourself get pulled, in which case you're trolling. And Tristana is actually really weak to level 1 poke. It's the same reason the Ezreal matchup can get really scary at level 1, because you just get zoned. You can't walk up at all. You can kind of do the same thing as Varus. Obviously, your E isn't as long range or spammable as Ezreal Q. But if you walk up to the wave and just auto E, there's very little she can do. She can't really contest you and trade back. And you have a ranged Thresh to help put in autos with you, whereas Alistar kind of just walks around and like he walks forward, you walk back, you auto him, and he can't really do anything to you. So you really want to abuse level 1 here, and then if you abuse level 1, like you probably should, you should hit level 2 before them, and then you can just hard zone them, because level 1 Alistar, like we said earlier, like he doesn't do anything. Especially, he doesn't do anything at level 1, and it gets even worse for him at level 2. So making sure you abuse that is the most important thing early on in this lane. Obviously later on, like they're all in is super fucking scary, so you want to be aware of that, but aside from that, that's about it. Okay, so little further back than you should be in this lane. Like you should be closer to where that front caster creep is right now, because you're not afraid of him. Like you want to take auto E trades with him when he's close to his wave, because then you're pushing the wave and trading on him at the same time. And then if you put the E down on him in a position where he's hitting the wave, he has to walk out of your E, right? So he can't actually push the wave at all, and you just destroy him in the push. So you're a little late to follow up on because you're a little further back than you should be. You're a little late to follow up on the Thresh play, but you still get pretty good trade-off. Auto E, like I said, you can't really do anything to you. Is my video freezing, or is this the VOD? My video is still moving. I think it's the VOD. Oh yeah, the VOD.
Wait, I think I double checked the VOD that it works perfectly.
Huh. Might be something wrong with how it uploaded then. Because yeah, my VOD is fine. Like my YouTube video is playing. The VOD is kind of fucked though. Alright, maybe I have no idea what's going on. Holy fuck. Alright,
Yeah,
let's
I just opened the VOD on mine and it worked perfectly.
Interesting. Okay. Well, let me just see here. That's 127, 128.
But here I just I remember this. Here I just want to auto attack the melee creeps constantly to get level 2 before them.
Okay. Alright, so
and then they get it at the same time as us, and Alistar comes into me.
Okay. Oh yeah, can't really comment, I didn't really see it. So yeah, just autoing, that's fine. Okay. Nope, not gonna kill Alistar, just push the wave here. Okay. Alistar is trolling. Flash auto E. Maybe need a flash. Okay.
There's a bit of a monkey flash.
Yeah, it's fine. Just misjudged it a little bit. Aftershock is a pretty good rune. Just makes you a little tanky. Okay. Just finish up the wave here. Not much else to say. Okay, what are you skilling here? Should be Q. Good. Okay. You're running. Oh yeah, you're running fleet. Yeah. Okay.
I think that's just QE the wave here, like the back minions.
Yep. QE the wave, 1 auto. They're all dead. Okay. So you are fleet with oh, you didn't go stopwatch. You went biscuits and boots.
Yeah, biscuit boots.
Biscuits boots. Okay. You ever do tempo on this champ?
No, not really. I've seen people use it, but I haven't seen pros use it, so I just don't use it.
I see.
I just usually just follow what players like ruler and stuff like they do.
Okay. So pickaxe here, you buy control. So you should actually just sell your pot and buy a refill here. It's just better than walking out with 1 pot. You just get more sustain, and like obviously the refill is way more value than just 1 pot. You had perfectly enough. Yeah, just a good habit to get into when you see you have enough. Okay.
I was probably thinking because I usually get refill in almost every game if something doesn't go weirdly. But here I just thought because I still have the potion left, because I get the biscuits too, that I don't really need it.
In this, it's still better to sell it just for refill. Refill is just it's more sustained than 1 potion, and obviously like you just get it every time.
Yeah.
Like the later you get the refill, the less value you get out of it. Okay, so all sums down bottom, I'm assuming. So you guys can step up whenever. Like, yeah, Tristana can really do nothing here. Thresher's is hook, that's fine. Okay. Just focus on your last thing here. Whenever E is up, you just want to auto E combo every time. The biggest thing you need to watch out for this lane is you don't pursue them after you auto E, so you don't get murdered by the creeps, and you don't stand. You never want to stand next to Thresh, because if you ever get comboed, it's fine. Thresh is just landing you out. They're not going to one-shot you. But if you're standing next to Thresh, you get double comboed, then you guys just die. So the biggest thing is like, yeah, it's kind of weird when you're not duoed because like you can't tell them like, hey, stand the fuck away from me. But for the most part, like you just want to make sure you're away from them. You don't want to give up like all of your lane pressure. Like you don't want to like put yourself in like a really odd spot in the lane just to be away from him. But just as a general rule, like if Alistar is in a position where he can combo, like where he's pushing into you or something, you don't want to be next to Thresh. Because the worst thing that can happen to you guys is you get double comboed in this lane, he can't save you. Because, like, look what happens here. Like, he can just land you out if you... Okay, well, this is a really odd game. But, like, worst comes to worst, he can just land you out normally. Good hook. Okay.
That was a bit stupid to get EQ'd by Alistar, or the combo.
It's fine there, because your Thresh is there. They can't kill you. Yeah. It's actually, like, a pretty solid bait in that case, because you know you're not going to die. Tristana has it.
I just wanted to get more poke on Tristana.
Yeah. Okay, so... your biscuit here, you can zone Tristana pretty much off. Get, yeah, good auto E combo, good. Continue doing that. You have enough sustain with the biscuit and Thresh Relic, so you're fine here. Ooh, don't be push. Ooh, okay, so we'll talk about it in a second. So poke them off. Okay. So you don't want to push the wave in this position because when the wave is here, Tristana can't walk up, right? Because what's going to happen is Tristana's going to try to walk up, she's going to get flay hook, she's dead. No summoners, you have fucking pickaxe first base at like 5 minutes, you're fucking huge. Like, you just want the wave here permanently because you can't get ganks when the wave is here unless you get like 4-man, which does happen, but like not this early. Like, you want to keep the wave here as much as possible, not push it. Because when it's here, like, he can't farm. And if he tries to farm, you kill him. Yes, with Alistar, he can probably hit the wave a little bit, but the thing is, Tristana always has to push the wave because she's Tristana, unless she doesn't want to skill E, in which case you just win. But she's always going to have to push the wave, and because you have Biscuit Sustain, you don't have Refill, so you're a little bit lower, but you have like Thresh with Relic, like you have a lot of Sustain, and you have Fleet. Like you can keep the wave basically here the whole time, and just make it really, really hard for him to CS. Like he should only be able to ever farm the melees. Like he can never walk up as for the range creeps if you keep the wave here. And he's just gonna like fall further and further behind because even when he just walks up for the melees, when you keep the wave here, he has to eat an auto E from you, and that shit just adds up really, really quickly. Like he's already getting chunked so much from it at level fucking 4 because you have that pickaxe on the first base. So this is fine. You get Fleet, you get the 2 autos in, you get the passive stacks off, and you can still come back to get to the wave. But here, like there's no point in actually pushing this wave unless you're looking to base, but you don't care about basing that much right here unless he's basing too.
And yeah, I think
And
I wanted to push the wave here because I thought Tristana would back after I tanker there.
yeah, it's always like the thing about that is worst. Like, so let's analyze the situation. Okay, so you shove him out. You think he's basing here, but what happens if he does base here, right? He's got like, you don't hit tab, so I'm not 100% sure, but there's no way he has BF sword, right? Not a fucking chance. No kills. No way he has more CS than you. He can't have BF sword on his back, right? So best case scenario, he comes back with like pickaxe, right? But like we already talked about in this lane, you can't really get all in unless you get double headbutt pulved. And if you can't get all in, you can just keep the wave here, and once again, he can't do anything, right? Whether he has like pickaxe or just Doran's blade, if the wave is in this spot, he can't really step up, you know? He's gonna get flayed and then into auto E. Like, you don't even have to all in. Like, you can literally just poke and like they can't kill you in an all in this close to your turret, like without a BF sword. So if you just keep the wave here, like if you think he based or not, like he can't really do anything. Like, and then you just get to farm until your Rage Blade. Like, or at least like recurve bow and boots, or like something like a slightly better buy than this. But you end up wasting all your mana here pushing because you think he based. And then the thing was, like, he might have been thinking to base, but the second he sees you commit all your mana to this wave, then he just says, oh, I don't have to base anymore. Like, what are you going to do to me? You don't have any mana left. Like, I can just stay and catch this wave now.
Yeah.
And now Alistar's back.
Should I, can you go back a bit to see the wave?
Yeah. No problem. So right here.
So here, should I just kill one range creep off?
Those are... Okay, so there's 6 range, 2 melee. Just kill off the... Just leave 3 ranged. Just leave 3 ranged and that's fine.
Okay.
Just kill all the melees and then 1 extra ranged, yeah. Because there was 4 ranged. So yeah, that would keep the wave there. And like you could just keep it there permanently until they show up. Because like Tristana never wants to base without BF sword, right? Like if he has to base him by pickaxe, it feels so fucking bad. If he has to base him by cull, it feels so fucking bad. Like he doesn't have BF sword, so you put him in a position where he either bases for maybe pickaxe. He honestly might not even have enough for pickaxe. He bases for maybe pickaxe, and that's it. Or he chooses to stay, and the wave is frozen in front of your turret, and he gets 3 CS per wave. Like, either way, just keeping it there, it's a win-win. Because, like, the best case scenario for him is backing and getting pickaxe, and he still can't really do anything in the lane because it's frozen in a spot where they can get ganked with no fucking summoners with Thresh to set up. Like, it's ridiculous, like, how bad that position is for them. But you bail them out by pushing here. Like, you take all the pressure off of him by just, like, shoving the wave in a turret. And I understand, like, you want to buy your recurve bow, you want to buy your sustain, but you could just put him in a much worse position there. And yes, it's Tristana, so you might get put in another position like that, but it's just you could have pushed it there a lot harder than you did. So let me check CS here when you hit tab. God, you hit it so quickly. Jeez. See if I can get a pause off. Fuck.
I think you can go.
Yeah, let me go half speed. Yeah, let's go half speed. God damn it! All right, I'll get it on the next one. Come on. So you buy your recurve. Fuck me. All right, I'm terrible at this.
I think you can go like frame by frame the video by pressing the dot and the right next to it.
I actually have. Oh, I'm trolling. I misclicked. I actually don't know how to go frame by frame. I actually don't do YouTube VODs enough to know frame by frame. Or I guess I just never bothered because it wasn't relevant. Is there higher quality than this? Oh yeah, I'm trolling. Maybe it's just not. Maybe it's just because my internet's fucked when I'm screen sharing, so it put me on the lowest quality. Alright, there we go. 32-41, yeah. You could have pushed this so much more than you did. He definitely has pickaxe with that CS, so he would have gotten that at least. But I don't know, like when you're both at pickaxe, like you still win this lane. Like you have an EXP advantage, you have ignite advantage. Your summoners are about the same time. His flash is a bit before yours, and I believe his heal is too, because you guys killed him first and then cleaned up Alistar with the rest of your subs. But he can't really do anything. Like the only thing he might have an advantage on you is like if he takes the base for pickaxe there, is that he'll have like more mana than you and like a little bit more HP. You have enough sustain that you get up to full pretty quickly, so that like he could like potentially look for an all in if you missed that, but you can't all in when you're frozen. You've frozen the wave like outside of your turret. So like even then, like that advantage doesn't really exist. Which is why just like freezing the wave and running the turret there's just a better play. Okay, so you buy recurve here. You buy refill. That's good. It's nothing better to buy there really. Okay. Let me just skip to when you're in lane. Okay. Tristana pushes and bases, so you can push back here or slow push, build the wave. Okay, so you're pushing. That's fine too. Either one is fine. If you're closer to 6, it definitely would have been better to stack the wave because what ends up happening is, so it's not relevant here obviously because you're not going to hit 6 off of this wave or the next. But if you're in a position where like the wave is like where it was here, like it's you can slow push it, like you can stack it up. And you would hit 6 like at the last wave right before it crashes turret. You want to let it stack because what ends up happening is you have a huge wave crashing under their turret when you hit your level 6 and you just fucking ult them, and then you're not going to try to kill them, you know? You just ult them, hit them with like your full rotation of spells, and you put them to half HP right when the wave crashes under the turret, and they have to back up while they're eating all your spells, back up and then pop pots, and by then like they've already lost like some of the wave. So you can like put pressure on them for like a dive, or just like make them miss like a pretty solid amount of the wave just because you're like using you have your ultimate available to you to poke them under the turret. But here you're not going to hit 6, so it's fine to just counter push it here. You probably won't push it in time to really deny anything, but that's not really what you're going for, so it's fine. The biggest important thing is you don't waste too much mana because you want to make sure you have enough mana to continue harassing him when he gets back to lane. Okay. Okay, so you gain the wave under the turret before you look for too much harass. That's okay. Okay, so the one thing I will say is you're using too many spells to push the wave here. The biggest thing about Varus Q when you're doing this this Rageblade build is that you don't have Essence Reaver, so you're low on mana, you're not building tier, and you're not building lethality because you're not doing that build, so your Q stays at level 1. Your Q at level 1 is pretty shitty, honestly, like at pushing. Like early on, like it's okay, but like once you get a little bit later into the game, like it starts to fall off real hard because you don't buy any more AD than the Rageblade for a long time, so it's not scaling. And the mana to damage ratio of your Q versus your E is like ridiculous. Like if you're hitting like the first target, like the first target with Q is okay damage, and obviously like you can get your W stacks off, so you want to use it that way. But generally, you don't want to waste too much mana using your Q to push when you're maxing E, which you should be maxing E, because your E just does so much more damage than your Q. Like, I understand your Q hits more targets, but the mana to damage ratio of that is really, really off, like, later in the lane. Like, right now, it's kind of okay, and you have biscuits, and your, like, full mana just came off a base, so it's a little bit better. But try not to use, like, too many spells, like, too many Qs, at least, to push the wave, because that gives you like, real quickly. And you want to be saving your mana. Like, your R costs a fuck ton of mana, and your E costs a ton of mana if you're maxing it, and you're spamming that to harass, right? So just don't don't make sure you're not queuing like every fucking wave. Like every now and then it's okay, especially with biscuits, but just like for the most part you don't want to use it too much. It's really scary how much mana it uses. Okay, so good. You guys are just pressuring up here, not letting him get anything for free. Okay. Get your fleet footwork off. Thresh has missed a lot of hooks, but it's fine. So Thresh is 6 here. What is Thresh doing? The fuck? Just flay, dog. Okay. Still don't have your... Oh, yeah. That...
Yeah. It's okay to back up there, right? When she throws the bomb on me.
Ooh, Yeah, exactly. I just wanted to see the whole trade first. So what happens here? Drops bomb. Yep, completely fine. Like, yeah, that's what the fleet is for. The thing about Tristana is that Tristana needs to pop basically the whole bomb on you to get a good trade off, and as long as you don't let her do that, you just win every trade. And the thing is, like, all you need to win a trade is auto E, because there's no way Tristana can respond to it, right? Ezreal can auto Q you, right, and trade back like the same. But Tristana, like, her trading is like bomb into like autos on you, and if you don't let her get autos on you, which she can't if you're putting her in E, like, how is she gonna chase you through this fucking field? Then you just win every trade. Like, yeah, that backing up there is completely fine. That's what you should do. So I don't know. I guess Floyd just isn't up, or DrHell like also isn't. He just doesn't want to throw anything. So this is a really bad like trade here. Like, the earlier your trade is fine, and then here you just walk up through the wave. Like, this is really, don't ever do that. And like that's the thing I said. Like, you don't want to get like attached to like using your Q to harass. You're not lethality Varus. You're Rage Blade Varus. Look how little damage like this Q does. Like, you have one stack. You get 18 damage off the stack, it does 39 damage. Let's look at how much damage your E does.
I think I took more damage from the minions there.
Yeah, definitely. So look how much... Boom, your E does 113 for 80 mana. Your Q does 38 for 70 mana. Like, look at the discrepancy in like damage versus how much mana it costs, right? That's why you like never want to get baited into using your Q unless you're like getting like a 3-stack off, right? Because like it just it doesn't do enough damage to warrant the mana cost, and especially because you're walking like this is fine. Like, there's no wave here yet. You're getting free autos off, but now like the casters are hitting you. Like, there's only 3 casters hitting you before, so like you getting like 3 or 4 autos off on them is still a worth trade for you, especially because you still have your biscuit, you still have relic shield sustain. This trade is really bad because not only are you using your Q without your E and without stacks, you're walking through the wave and eating autos at the same time from him. Because he puts a 90 damage auto on you, and you're getting blasted by the fucking wave this whole time. And now you're in all-in range. I don't think this is going to go that well for them. Okay, never mind, Lisa's here. But, like, you just, like, that was, like, a really sketchy trade. Like, you want to trade exactly how you were earlier. Like, this trade is, like, perfect. Like, you say you do it because he bombed you, and, like, yeah, that's fine logic. But, like, for the most part, like, you don't want to trade different than this any other time, right? Because what ends up, like, he has to bomb you in every trade to even go, like, close to even. And, like, he doesn't want to have to bomb you every time because that's, like, way more of a commitment from him than you. Because you still have other abilities to farm and, like, poke with. Whereas, like, he only has his E. Like, and you can just auto-E every time. Auto-E, auto-E, auto-E. And he can't do anything to you because his champion just doesn't trade that way. He has to all-in you. He has to turn everything into an all-in to try to trade with you, and if he tries to all-in you with your lead, then they just lose. So you just want to put him in a situation where he can't do anything to you, because all you pick are auto-E. You never do anything more than like auto-E unless they overcommit too, right? Because like this trade, they overcommit. Like after this part where you auto-E him and then you back up, like they overcommit. Like so, like Thresh, like the Thresh gets chased by Alistar and they try to put autos off, so you put autos back. But that's only because they overcommit. Other than that, like when they overcommit, you're fine with this trade. Like this trade is perfect. This is exactly what you want to do every time. Because he can't respond to that. You just go back to the wave and he's zoned still. And he's missing HP. So he can't hit the wave to sustain. Like that's exactly what you want. Just auto E and back up. He can't do anything. You don't want trades where you're like going up through the wave and like eating minion aggro and all that shit for like a Q. Like that shit is bad. You don't ever want to trade like that. This just happens because the jungler's here and you guys have been trading for a long time. It's Alistar Flash. Like there's not much else to say about that. Good to hold your heal. He was dead anyway. Your ulti. Yeah, that's fine. You're afraid that he's gonna go for more on you. That's fine. This guy shouldn't be able to kill you. Okay. And now you just base. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so your boots are here. So since you don't have refill, you just have to buy blasting wands and pot. Buy a pot. No, don't save your gold. Oh, yeah, you should really buy a pot here just to be safe. Because this is basically your last time to buy pots. Like your next base is going to be Rageblade, and after that, like you don't really need to buy pots anymore. So you just want to buy like one more pot here, just so you have longevity to stay in the lane. Because the worst case scenario that can happen here is you get ganked, or you take a bad trade, and then you have to base without Rage Blade, right? Because like basing with these 3 items without Rage Blade is like the worst fucking feeling in the world. Like these items don't like the recurve bow is okay, the blasting wall is okay. I mean the pickaxe is okay, the blasting wall is pretty bad, and they all become like combined into obviously like the good item that is Rage Blade. But if you ever have to base without Rage Blade for any reason, then you're in a really bad spot. Kind of just like how like if you base without BS sword on a crit 80 carry, you're in a bad spot. Like I understand you have biscuits, but like if you once you pop your pot in lane, like you have the biscuits available to you again. And my bot's freezing again. So like you still have the biscuits. They just show up to you when you use the pot after you've used the pot. But like that's completely fine. Okay, so this is just frozen.
Still frozen.
Yeah, I know. It's still frozen for me too. I'm just kind of waiting to see.
Oh, a lot happened.
What the hell?
But it was just I don't know why, but Elise just wanted to continue the trade with Tristana, so I killed Elise. And after that, Trish wanted to chase after Tristana, so I went to.
Okay, so let's. When does this unfreeze? 32, 33. Okay, yeah, 33. Okay, so Elise is dead. You don't have to. You use your sums. Tristana's dead. Your jungler shows up. Okay, kill them. All right, free kills are always nice. What dragon is that?
Cloud
okay, yeah. Don't help with that. Go push the lane.
Yeah, I actually went to help with that. I was going to push the wave, but then I just went with the Drake.
Dude, he's Kha'Zix. He's fucking fine, dude. Go push the wave here. Have Thresh do your dirty work. Have Thresh fucking help him. You don't push here. You don't dragon here. You fucking push. You're an 80 carry. Fuck the Cloud Drake. They're all dead. Like they don't need you. Literally everyone is dead. Like look, they're all fucking dead. They don't need your help. Just go push here. If they complain about them, if they complain about you not helping, you mute them. Because your wave is way more important. Because if the wave is pushing into you, then okay, you can help. But what's happening here is you leave the wave, or the wave is left in a position where it's pushing to them. So what happens here is you miss minions helping on a fucking Cloud Drake, which sucks. Like you never want to do that. Like I understand, like people are like, dude, you didn't help with the dragon. It was so slow. Like fuck them, dude. You're missing fucking minions as a Fed 80 carry. Like that shit sucks. Like you go push here. Fuck your team, 100%. Like there's no threat on the dragon. Literally their whole team is dead. Like if they need your help on the dragon, tell them they need to find a new game, because like there's zero threat on that dragon. And because like this is so bad, actually. This isn't being so bad because what should have happened instead of you helping with the dragon here is you guys kill these guys. You say you're Kha'Zix, you can do this dragon. You don't need me. You go push the wave. You push the wave in. You base. The wave crashes under turret. They miss some minions. You back and you get a Rage Blade and you get back into lane to catch the wave that they push back to you once their bot lane gets back into lane. So you miss 0 creeps because you don't miss any. You don't miss any that are pushing right now, and you don't miss the new wave, and you come back to lane with fucking Rage Blade to get turret. Actually, like helping on this dragon actually hurts you so fucking much because you miss these minions, and then you have to push this wave because the wave is already stacked. And now you don't get to base to buy Rage Blade, you don't get a base to replenish your mana. So if you get an all-in, you can't use all your abilities. You don't have your Rage Blade to fight. You don't have your Rage Blade to push turret. And you're stuck in this lane. And it's like, well, you still should have based here. Like, you definitely still instantly base here because you have Rage Blade spike. Like, you need to go get that. And now it's delayed, though. Like, now they can push a wave into you, and you're going to miss something, whereas you shouldn't have missed anything. You should have been in the lane, like, you should have been in the lane at like 10:45, 10:50, but now you're going to get there at like 10:55, like super late. Like, and now you're going to miss minions.
Yeah, I think that happened once once more in this lane, where Tristana right back at the wrong time, and Tristana just gets to go and crash a whole lane into my tower and get the bomb off.
Yeah, like.
So I was wondering, like, Tristana gets the first tower way before I do.
Yeah.
And this is kind of a weird thing. I went through this a couple of times, but I couldn't really figure out what I should have done there. I guess I should have just backed way before when I saw Alistar rotate behind.
Okay, so let's look at this. So pretty sure. Okay, so you see Alistar. You don't have your ward. Okay. Trading. Okay. Okay, so you see Alistar right there. So you see him starting to wrap on you. So you definitely start backing up. You pop your pot, you start backing up. You walk downwards to the left, okay? You walk downwards to the left because downwards to the left is the hardest angle for Tristana to come help, right? And then when you walk downwards and to the left, so you're out of let me just draw. This is way easier if I draw it. Okay. So you know Alistar is coming from this side, okay? You see the pen and everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I see Alistar is coming from this side. He's gonna come at an angle towards you. He's gonna try to headbutt you, outwards. Okay, he's gonna headbutt you that way. So you know this is gonna happen. You like if you don't know already, like the second he shows up on the fog, you know for sure. So that's why you want to be right like here in like this general like circle, okay? Because when you're in this circle, who's gonna kill you here? Tristana, right? It's not gonna be Alistar. He's gonna take the turret, but he's not gonna be the one who kills you. He's gonna set you up for Tristana to kill. But to kill you, Tristana still has to be in range, right? So if you walk back to this like circle X thing, Alistar, first off, he doesn't have a good angle to headbutt you. The best chance he has to headbutt you is he has to walk all the way down first and then headbutt you outwards. And at best, if you're right here in the circle, it puts you like right here. And the other thing is, when you're right here, let me actually just clear this up real quick. It's getting kind of cluttered. When you're right here, Tristana isn't in range. She has to walk up this way. And what happens is the Alistar is going to, no matter what, he's going to hit you with the abilities. Like you don't have flash, you don't have heal, your Thresh isn't going to make it to lantern you. So no matter what, you're going to get hit by his stuff. You just need to set yourself up in a way where if you get hit by his stuff, you won't die to it. And the best way to do that is you put yourself right here. Tristana has to walk forward, and then when she walks forward, you just shoot your ult right here. If Alistar doesn't have ult, you can just ult him first too, and then walk over to get lantern, especially if you have flash. But it's a little bit scary. I don't know if Thresh has Mobies. If he has Mobies, I think you make it in time to just ult Alistar and just walk out. But if you're alone here without anyone to come, you just put yourself in an angle where it's really, like, if he wants to headbutt you, you're still under turret. The way you ended up playing it is you kited to the right away from him, and then he ended up headbutting you in a position where, like, the Thresh can't get to you. Like, you just want to put yourself in an angle where, like, the headbutt doesn't do enough to get out of the turret range. Like, you make it so that he has to stay in turret the whole time. Because the other thing about headbutt is that it pushes him, like, away from the turret, too, if you're putting yourself outside of your turret. So if you put yourself here, and he has to headbutt you here, like, when you're right here, it only puts him, like, right here. So he's still stuck taking the turret, and if you ult Tristana from this here towards that, the Tristana can't actually put damage on you properly because she's outside of range and you're under turret, so she really doesn't want to walk up. So the best thing you can do is just kite downwards and towards your Thresh here, but what ends up happening is you don't react in time to what's going on, and you put yourself in a position, like, look how good the headbutt angle is for him, right? Because it puts him right here. How many, like, look how close he is to exiting turret range. 2 steps, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if you are right here and he headbutts you there, look how fucking far he has to go to get out of turret range, right? And look how far Tristana has to walk to damage you if you're right here and you get put right here, right? Because you just ult Tristana. If you're right here and Tristana's right here, that's not in range to do damage, right? It's not level 18 Tristana. He doesn't have rapid fire cannon. He doesn't have all the range stacked up from the passive to hit you from this far away. So all that's happening is Alistar's doing his combo on you. Tristana's not auto-attacking you because she's not in range. She's rooted over here, and you're down here, so you can't get autoed. And then your Thresh will show up in time, even faster if he has Mobies, and you don't die to this.
Yeah, I think I also got a bit too confident because I just got my Rage Blade, and Tristana didn't have anything yet.
Yeah, it's pretty normal when you're fed. Yeah, but yeah, like, there's definitely a way out of it. It's just, like, the biggest problem here is that, like, I guess you just didn't respect Alistar, like, diving you here, so you, like, don't, like, you definitely realize by the time he's committed, but, like, once you see him in that little pocket of vision, like, there's like a slight little, like, time, like, once you see him cross there, like, in your mind you should be like, oh fuck, I'm getting dove, like, because, like, when he's, like, up here, like, clearing your ward, it's kind of like whatever, like, it's just a normal clearing your control ward, doing support things, but when he crosses right there Like, that's when you know something's happening. Like, at that point, you should know that it's coming. Like, Thresh knows it too. That's why he pings like, oh shit, I'm fucking coming. Like, you're getting dove, dude. Like, you need to just respect the dive more than you did. Like, the ultimate was, like, fine. Like, you understood, like, ulting Alistar doesn't really do anything because he just ults your ult. So, it's good awareness to ult Tristana. It's just, like, you don't position yourself properly to survive it. Like, the idea, like, behind, like, what you do to survive is, like, fine. You just don't execute it properly because your positioning is off. So, Alistar, like, look how little tower hits Alistar has to tank in this whole thing. He comes out, like, nearly, like, he comes out super healthy because, like, he tanks 1 tower hit, 2 tower hits. He tanks the 3rd for Tristana, and then he walks out, and that's all he needs to tank. Whereas, because he's in a position where he can play on the edge. Whereas, if you had been just one more time, like right here, and he headbutts you this way, like he's stuck like right here. He has to walk all the way out. He can't fucking do the thing he does in this dive where he just sits on the edge of the turret and tanks it for Tristana, right? Because he's like, I'm good to go, dude. I got my aftershock. I got my ultimate. I'm literally 1 step away from dropping turret aggro. Like, I'm fucking chilling, dude. Whereas if you're putting yourself down in the corner there, like he's like, oh fuck, I gotta make sure I get out first, like before like I start tanking, and it becomes like a lot scarier for everyone involved. Like you ult Tristana, so the damage is delayed. Alistar has to take so many more turret hits. Like the whole play, just like going down and to the left, just becomes like so much harder for them to execute. Like you might still die if they have summoners and they commit like everything, but like at the very least, like you'll probably get a trade kill, or it'll be like so much slower that Thresh will probably show up. Okay, so now they get turret off of that because 1 death and a bad back timing, and that's all it takes because Tristana pushes towers really, really fast. And yeah, like this was basically like it literally, like the whole lane was like, yeah, there's some bad trades, you know, like Alistar flashed on you because you guys were trading badly. Elise killed you in a gank, like and Elise ended up killing you guys in a gank because Alistar flash is a pretty good setup, and Tristana does pretty good damage when she gets to auto you like 6 times because you're stun locked. So you guys did die to 1 gank, but other than that, like, and like you had a few bad trades, but like the laning phase overall was just like fine up until the point where you took the bad base off of helping with Dragon, and then obviously getting dove here. Like, it's literally those 2 things were like all the really like big mistakes, but that's all it really takes, like, to lose like the turret here. And like obviously like that's terrible. You never want to give up first turret, especially when you were winning the lane so hard like you did. Okay, just cut out here. Kind of awkward. I think you're alive here. Yeah, just kite out. Should be popping your pots during the fight. Oh, you have 1 biscuit. This is just a little late. Okay, don't commit too much. You don't have ulti here. Let me just look over this. So, okay, same thing. Once you see Alistar walking that way, you need to be a bit afraid. Thresh, I guess he doesn't have a ward. I guess you have Kha'Zix, but still. So, Elise here. Thresh should just land on you immediately. I'm not sure why he doesn't. Alistar actually fucks up. He should have just headbutted you into the wall and you would have been dead. Not much to say. You pop pot a little late. The juke on the cocoon is good. But yeah, just pop your pot earlier here. Not much else to say about this from a mechanical standpoint because you don't have sums or anything. All there really was the juke. Pop your pot slow earlier so you're healing up faster. I understand you have Kha'Zix, so you feel a lot safer there than you probably were. So that's fair. Okay, free kill on Tristana. Push the wave here. Okay. Just push here. Tristana still dead. Alistar likely base. Their mid laner is missing, but you have Lantern. You can stay in her turret. There is Elise. Okay, so you're hitting turret, hitting turret, hitting turret. Thresh runs into Elise. Okay, you're a little slow to react. Yeah. Oh, just ult him. Okay, so you can't repel. Yeah. So basically, the biggest problem here is you're slow to react. I don't know if it's because you want to hit the turret or you just don't see Elise, but like you should be reacting like immediately. Because what the best bet to get out of this is that you see Elise, you start backing up, and then like the second you see Cassidon show up too, you just turn on Elise because you can't run. And then like you guys blow up Elise faster, and then maybe you have a chance of let me just full screen this actually. This is so much easier. Maybe you have a chance of kiting away the Cassidon if you kill Elise faster and you don't take as much damage. from the Elise, maybe you can kite out Cassidy because you would have been like full Rage Blade stacks by then. But yeah, that's a big thing.
Saving heal there is okay, right? Because Cassidy is killing anyway.
Once the situation like happened the way it did, then yeah, I'd say like let's say like you move faster, okay? In this case, and like you're closer to Thresh because you move faster, and then Thresh hooks Elise, and you ult Elise, and you just insta kill Elise, and you're full HP by the time Kassadin goes on you. Then you use your heal because then you can just kill Kassadin. But because Elise puts so much damage on you, you have no chance of living anyway. You just hold the heal. That's fine. Okay, so Berserker Greaves. Okay, and I'm guessing Hurricane. It could be anything. This game is actually kind of interesting. I need a freeze frame on the scoreboard. Let me slow this down. Oh, I need to find out when you hit score. Oh, jeez. Let me see. Kill score 1410. Okay. Fuck. I'm so slow on that. That was a long pause. Okay. So Cassin's fed. 80 carry. Shouldn't have IE yet. Nathan's feeding. This is definitely a game where I'd get either Ninja Tabby or Merc Treads. On Varus, you end up capping attack speed like pretty easily because you buy so many attack speed items and because of your passive. And if you have lethal tempo, if you ever do take that, you just get so much attack speed that you don't really need Berserker Greaves. Yes, it's a little bit of a spike. It's a noticeable spike right when you get it, and you can just sell it later. But the thing is, you'll feel how much tankier you are. You'll feel how much tankier you are with the Ninja Tabby or the Merc Treads more times than you'll feel the Berserker Greaves being useful, especially when you're fed. Because at this point of the game, like, you had a pretty early Rage Blade, and you're getting another dagger here on top of it. Like, you're gonna do enough damage. And the thing about Varus, especially when your sums aren't up, like, you're gonna take some damage. You're gonna get attacked by like you're at a mobile AK, you don't have a dash or anything. Like, you're gonna get dove, and like having the resist to survive the dive is usually almost always more worth it than just like having more attack speed, because you already do so much damage, you already have so much attack speed, and if you live long enough in a fight because you have like let's say like Merc Treads or Ninja Tabby to get your passive off, like that's way more worth it than like Berserker Greaves will ever be for you. Just like your passive is just so fucking strong.
Yeah, I usually don't go for Berserker Greaves on Varus, but is getting Mercury Treads good, like just for the magic resist?
Yes, because
I always tend to go if they have like 380 or 280, but or if something like towards 80 is a threat to me, I get Ninja Tabby. Otherwise, if they have a lot of CC, I just get Mercuries. But even if they have magic damage, I usually get Berserker Greaves.
Yeah, magic damage with Merc Treads is really worth it. Because the thing is, it's a little bit different on the new patch because like not everyone just goes fucking Morello and Almacon haunting guys anymore. But there's still a lot of champions who buy that like new, I forget what it's called, but the new item that gives flat magic pen, and you just go Sorc Shoes, and then that gives you like a fuck ton of flat magic pen. And when you don't have Merc Treads, like basically like they're doing almost true damage to you, like and obviously like one rotation of like true damage with like any mage is just you're dead. Like the Merc Treads help a lot with that because sometimes heals enough to save you, but like the Merc Treads plus like Locket Shield and like all the other things that add on, like the thing about all that is like Locket Shield is HP. Your HP is worth more when you have resists. Like heal is HP. It's worth more when you have resists. Like Guardian Shield from your support, worth more when you have resists. Locket, like Thresh Lantern Shield, worth more when you have resists. Like Orion, all that stuff. Like it's all worth more when you have resist. So like yes, it might save you, and you might not need it in some cases for it to save you because you have shields and heals and lifesteal and all that stuff. But the thing is like the healthier you are in a fight, like the more you can walk forward, and you'll be healthier like buying like defensive boots, like to not have to rely on all that other stuff like in the first place. So you just have more freedom in fights, right? Like let's say like you would have survived both cases in a team fight, but like if you do have like merc treads and stuff, you survive on like 70% health and you can walk up. Whereas if you don't have it, you survive on like 30-40% health, and suddenly like you can't really walk up anymore because you're too low. It's just like it just gives you more options to fight, kind of just like how when you have more summoners, right? You can afford to play more up because you have that flash. Whereas like in a team fight, if you have like more resists and because of those resists you have more HP, you can play more up in a fight. And then because you can play more up, you end up doing more damage anyway, right? How many cases are you as Varus where you're just a whole team fight, no one looks at you, and you're just autoing the whole time? You're like, at the end of the day, you just didn't have enough damage. You're like, damn, I wish I had more attack speed. Probably not a lot, right? Whereas,
never.
how many team fights are you in where you're like, wow, I wish I didn't get one shot by the Cassidy, right? Like, probably way more than like those. And that's the thing. Like, yeah, at the end of the day, like in a perfect world, like the Berserker Greaves do more damage. But like for the end of the day, like your problem in most team fights isn't gonna be I just didn't do enough damage. It's gonna be wow, their assassins did a lot of damage to me. Like I couldn't position away. And that's why like the defensive boots are so good. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Okay, so you can just keep pushing here. You have full stack Rageblade, 3 people are dead, you know where Renekton is, he's fighting Malphite. The only person here is Kassadin, so free hit. Free stacks on Rageblade. They're spawning. 10 seconds. Just base here. Drop your ward in the middle of the lane here before you base.
I think I go for the wave clip before I base.
Okay, that's fine. But you still want to drop your wards because you're switching to blue trinket, right? Because you're level 9. And your wards, if you drop them, they don't go away. Like you just want to put them somewhere on the map before you base and switch, so you don't waste your wards. So you just drop it in the river, drop it in the lane. Because like you're gonna swap out your trinket anyway. You might as well just like get use out of the wards.
Oh yeah, should I have, just as I wrote in the chat, should I have rotated it sooner from the tower because I know they're gonna get it?
Sure, let me look at this.
So that I can catch the wave before it gets to the tower.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, they don't need you for the end of that. Like you can leave it at like 20% HP, they can finish it off. Cause let's see, you're gonna miss Cannon here. Cannon's dead right around now. You're missing 1 melee. Missing 2 melees. Missing 3. Missing the 4th here. Okay. Yeah. You would have, like, you don't lose a lot off it, but like yeah, you could have definitely left a little earlier. It's not a huge deal, but yeah, it's just a small thing that adds up. So you're actually a little bit afraid here because you didn't drop your wards. So like Kassadin could actually be coming to kill you right now. You do have summoners. Okay, he shows up top, so you're fine. Okay. Tristana's pushing middle. She's gonna get turret. Well, she might get turret. You're not gonna make it to respond, so you just push here. Yep.
Yeah, just try to respond with this turret.
Yeah, try to respond with this turret. Thresh is late. Okay. That is probably your Renekton? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Does Kassadin have TP? I think he does. I didn't look. Okay, so you end up using your wards. They're just they could have been a little bit better. It's good that you identify that at least. Okay, yeah. So Thresh overextends to defend middle, he dies. Yeah, you shouldn't be walking this way. Just walk around. Yeah, you should be okay here. They're diving middle. Ooh. Okay, that's a kill. He's dead to ignite. Okay. Okay, so this is a little bit awkward. Mainly your team's fault. So there are a few things that like we can talk about based on this rotation. If you'd rotated earlier, you would have had this wave pushing a little faster. You would have been on the next wave ready. And then what could have ended up happening is you'd be done with this wave right about like when Tristana shows, and you could make it to middle to defend that if you'd rotated a little bit earlier. But because you left the turret a little late, your rotation is slow, and you kind of greed for this next wave. I understand you're trying to trade because they're all top. I probably would have done the same thing here. This is more of an issue with your team, but you would have had like a bit more information and like more like things available to you had you just got to this wave a little bit faster. You just get there a little late because you left the turret at middle a little late, and because of that, Thresh tries to defend the mid turret alone. He just dies. That's more of Thresh's fault than anything. And then I think Malphite, he gets chunked out and then he dies. Trying to defend the turret. You're slow to the rotation because you're trying to go like a really greedy route. You should have just gone around the whole way. It's still not really your fault Malphite dies. He's just staying way too far up. And because of all that, you guys are late to the dragon. Looks like you will get it here. Okay. Yeah, let's go kill Renekton. Okay, so the small thing I want to say here though, just let me just see. So you guys
maybe ulted
ulted Elise. Yeah, 100% just ult Elise here, so she can't smite it. So right there, boom, ult Elise, dead. Either dead or one of two things happen here.
And start to chunk Drake, right?
Yeah, you can either chunk Drake or chunk Elise. Either one's fine. Because if you chunk Elise, then she can't walk back in anyway after the ult. And she can't help finish the dragon. Or you just finish the dragon with Kha'Zix. Good smite by Kha'Zix. Kind of bails you out. But yeah, just ult Elise there so we can't get in there to smite it. Now you chase Renekton. This is going to be really dumb. This is Akira Atel is going to be super dumb. They're like collapsing on you from the side. Okay, so Tristana just jumps in and ints. That's cool. Renekton's just gone there. I don't think you're catching him, regardless. Could grab the land, and I don't think it really changes anything. You don't really want to be in this lane because you already got all the turrets. No dragon to take, so you just get Rift here. Don't go mid here. Go Rift. Go Rift. Rift or top. One of the two. Not mid. Okay. Going for top. Okay. This works out pretty well. You can probably kill Renekton here too. They're late on the rotate. Just hold Renekton. A little late. That's fine. Mechanical errors happen. Dies anyway. Just have to commit Malphite ult. Okay, so now you just need to be a little careful. You don't want to really team fight. You're you're out of like every single ult on your team. So just back up here. Like don't greed for the turret. Like no one on your team has ults, and your team is like all your ults. Like if Orianna doesn't have ult and Malphite doesn't have ult, like those champions like are not worth much at this stage of the game. Especially Malphite. That champion is literally his ultimate, and that's it. Like he doesn't do anything without his ultimate. So like the second Malphite ult gets used, and there's like any risk of like a fight starting, just get the fuck out of there. Because like that champion like isn't a champion without his ultimate. I don't care how many kills he has, unless he's like full AP, I guess. Okay.
Here as I type in the chat, I get Vision to boost Orianna's damage and reduce damage, but I'm not sure if I should always get Luna's Hurricane before I get Vision.
This is fine here. Like, the thing about Hurricane is that it's really good against like double frontline, because you just like put it on all the front line at the same time, and then you just like kill them all. But like all the divers on you. But like in this game, it's like Renekton is not tanky because he's behind as fuck, and here's my call it. The Alistar is gonna be tanky regardless. Just because he's Alistar. So like you don't really need the Hurricane in this game. Like with Wit's End, like Rageblade, you're gonna shred like the only person you can shred. Like the only person who's gonna dive you that you're gonna shred, like Renekton anyway. Obviously you just kill Cassin fast no matter what. So like the Wit's End is fine here. Saves you a bit from the Cassin one-shotting you. Saves you a bit from some of the Alistar combo damage. So yeah, it's fine here. Should have swapped to blue Trinket. Pretty big mistake. This is definitely the stage of the game where blue Trinket starts becoming really useful because Baron's up. But
yeah, how should I use the blue Trinket as an AD? Should I always use it to like spot something other than to cover something like a
biggest things, use it to face check. Not face check. Use it to clear like things that are really scary that they might be stacking in, so your team doesn't get caught. If you're behind, obviously use it to scout things more often, and then obviously like you can hold it for like a team fight if there's like nothing. Like if you're just like sieging or something, you can just use it over like a corner or something. Sometimes you hold it for a team fight in case like a team fight looks like it's starting in the jungle. And the last one is like if you're ever basing and it's up, just use it somewhere. But yeah, those are like the main ways. Okay. So you guys should just be, okay, well, we'll talk about it in a second. Okay. So your guys' lane allocation is like fucking terrible. What elo is this? Hello?
Uh,
What like elo is this? Or,
Plat 3.
okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And the lane allocations here are terrible. Malphite should never be middle. Malphite should be bottom. You should be top. Orianna should be middle. Thresh should be top. I don't really know how to explain this because you guys are all in like this guy is solo bottom. This guy is helping blue buff. Oriana's like no one is in the right lane, so I guess like you kind of just chill with someone in this case. That's fine.
Should I always like as an AD carry, should I always try to be in a lane that has still turrets up? Because usually when I go on a side lane, my fucking team goes in and fights and then starts pinging me for being in a side lane.
You catch sideways if no one else can. Other than that, you stay mid or sometimes top. You never go bottom unless Baron's down. That's about it. So yeah, like in this case, like you can't really go top because you would have been alone. So you just stick with Malphite here because you don't want to be bottom because your AD carry being bottom at 20 minutes is really bad. So you just stick with Malphite here. I guess it's just really awkward. Like you guys are just, I don't know why Malphite's here. Because Malphite's here, you're here. Interesting. Let me just grab the lantern.
Yeah, I should have run for it instantly.
Yeah, because you get exhausted. Yeah.
Yeah, I got greedy there.
Yeah, you get exhausted, and at that point, it's like you're not killing anyone. You just back up. Get your wits end stacked a little bit. It's good. But yeah, for the most part, like the second the exhaust, like you can turn and fight until the exhaust comes, because you have wits end, like you're kind of tanky. But then the exhaust comes, you just need to bail. Okay. Oh, so cast it as ignite. Okay. Just hitting turret. Can't really cross by. Would have been like really suspect. So you're just hitting turret here. Red buff's healing you. Just get your fleet and run. There's no point in sticking around here. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I really messed my ulti there.
I mean, like, you had to use it at that point, but, like, you should have just left before you had to use it. Like, using it there was fine. You would have died otherwise, but, like, you just don't want to be in a position where you have to use it, you know? You just want to leave before that. Okay, so now you just push bottom because everyone else is dead or not able to do it. Not really any Baron threat, so you just catch this wave, and I understand you want the turret. You have Thresh with you. You see Tristana coming, so this is fine. Okay, Thresh is trolling. Thresh is trolling. Oh god, that was such a bad lantern. Oh god. Yeah, Thresh trolled and you like trolled with it. that's oh god. Oh lord, dude. Holy moly. Alright, we're not gonna talk about this. You know exactly what happened here. I don't need to tell you. let's just pretend that didn't happen. Alright, so
I was just playing with my team.
yeah, buy Zeal here. Buy Dagger. You can buy a controller or Dagger here. I would probably just go control because you have Circuit Greaves. You have so much attack speed already. Don't really need it. Pretty sure you're like attack speed capped with Rage Blade stacked already. Switch to blue. That's good. All right, everyone's inting. Oh god, what the fuck? Wait, okay, so where do you lose your first? Okay, so he RQs you. Yeah, that's a lot of damage because you don't have Wits End stack yet. You don't have Merc Treads. Look how much damage it does to you. And he like does half your HP with one combo, with Wits End, with 0 magic pen. Like that's why like the just flat resist are just so insane on AD carry because like everyone stacks flat pen to kill you, but if you have flat resist to counter that, then yeah, the damage is way lower. Okay, let's cut out here. You are fine. You got enough distance from the TP. Obviously, the Alistar's not going to kill you if you have MR. Yeah, that guy melts. You don't need Hurricane for him. Honestly, this wouldn't have been a bad game to do Mallet or GA third, just because like they have so much trouble killing you through Wits End already, and especially if you had Merc Treads. That like, and you do like plenty of damage. Like, let's take a look real quick, okay? Let's see how long it takes you to kill Kassadin, okay? Full HP Kassadin. Let's check this out. Level 13 Kassadin, full HP. Let's count the seconds, all right? R's into you at 22:01. Dead. Doesn't last 2 seconds. Getting auto bite you. So let's look at the next guy you kill, all right? So Cocoon comes out. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's dead in like 2 seconds as well, and that guy is like technically like one of their like closer to frontliners. This Alistar, let's see how long. Okay, well, people are killing Alistar with you. So that doesn't really count. But like Alistar is like whatever. So you were killing Renekton with you. 2.5 autos is like half his health. Like you don't need any more. Like you do so much damage that like you can afford to buy like GA and stuff. Cause like what is like the easiest way for you guys to lose this game, right? Like you die instantly in a team fight, and like Malphite Orianna don't get a good combo. You have GA, you have Mallet, you're unkillable. You're a walking death machine. Like you actually just can't die. Which is why like you don't really need like the Hurricane in this situation. Like, are you gonna kill people faster? Like, yeah, you are. But like, what does killing people faster do for you right now? Like nothing. Like I said, like same thing as before. The biggest threat to your damage output is getting jumped. But if you get jumped and you know you're not gonna die because you have tank stats, then you just end up doing more damage than you would have, even if you bought an item that gives you more damage. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just like the main reason behind it. Because like, is like the Hurricane like bad here? Like no, like it's not bad, but like you just don't need it. You know, you might as well just buy something else. So like you do, like you live longer. Like you're just shredding through. Like look how much damage you do here. Like you're just fucking shredding everyone. You don't need more damage. Like if you have a fucking frozen mallet or like a GA, so you can literally just walk up like all the time, then yeah, like that's even better, you know.
Here I get really greedy.
Oh yeah, this looks.
My red split stacks fell off and everything else.
Yeah. Yeah. When did your red stacks fell off like a long time ago? I think. Yeah, they're gone. They're long gone. They're long gone. Where you go for this? There's a wave you could have stacked up on. I guess you wouldn't have caught him, but I guess you could have like put like 2 autos in.
I wanted to.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, maybe if this was going for the pen, I would have understood. This was really greedy. Yeah, that's whatever. Like the game is pretty much over at this point. You just buy your. Yeah, it's just like I understand like this is the build, right? Like this is like what you buy, but like in a game like this where no one on their team is tanky, like they literally have a bunch of champions who don't build any tank items except Alistar, who's a support, which doesn't count. And like you're fed as fuck, like so you do plenty of damage already. You just like you don't need it, you know. It's not technically wrong to build like these items. Like this is the Varus build, right? I build these items. Like this is what every Varus builds. But it's just like you don't have to do that, right? You're fed as fuck. You 2-shot everyone. You might as well just buy like a mallet, right? Like you don't need to do more damage. You just kill everyone anyway. Buy a mallet, buy a GA, and then like suddenly there's no threat, right? Because like what ends up happening is like look at their team comp, okay? Worst case scenario here, let's say like Alistar flashes on you, Elise cocoons you off of it, Renekton stuns you off of it, and they just one-shot you, right? And then like your team goes in and your team goes in and tries to win the fight. You hit the scoreboard like a little bit here. When did you hit it? I just want to show you the scoreboard. It was like I saw it like not online because like Renekton's like 210 or something. Okay, yeah. So on this. So we just take a look, right? If you die, the rest of your team's... Well, I guess you kills it. Like, the Orianna doesn't have that many kills. The Kha'Zix is a decent amount, and this guy's fit as fuck somehow. 10-kill Malphite. But, like, basically, like, the biggest risk to losing in this game is if you die. But if you have GA Mallet and stuff, and, like, Merc Treads, and, like, the Wits End is good, like, you can't die. And then if you don't die, they can't win. Because, like, let's say, like, that same thing happens, right? With Alistar combos on a flash into Elise Cocoon, and they blow up, like, let's say they blow up Orianna, or they blow up, like, Kha'Zix. What's going to happen is you're just going to kill everyone else, right? If you have a GA or, like, a Mallet, suddenly, like, Alistar they can't even kill you. Like, they do that whole thing, and you don't even die, because you're just too tanky. And then you win. Whereas, like, it's not a big deal, because, like, you still probably won't die to them because they're so weak. But it's just like there's just a small risk that happens, and you might as well eliminate it altogether by buying like other items, because it's not like those other items like will make it so that you just can't kill anyone. And that's just like the biggest thing that I see with this game, because like the rest of this game is like I'm pretty sure you're just gonna run through them and get fucking all the kills. Like they can't do anything to you at this point. So walking through their base. Rage Blade stacked, Wits End stacked, Critical Mass. Pretty sure you're your attack speed cap. Like, you don't need this. Your attack speed cap without your fucking passive. Like, you don't need Zergers. Okay. So mid and Hib down, bottom and Hib next. A little scary because you don't have your front line with you, but like I said, it's so hard for them. It's pretty hard for them to get on you here. So you're respecting that you don't have your front line here yet, which is good. You don't want to get combo range of Alistar if they're in any range to follow up. You have Lantern. So look, so Orianna died. Like, oh no, Orianna died. What's gonna happen? I'm pretty sure they still can't fight you. Okay, you get Cocoon. Okay, now there's an issue. Yeah, look, like now there's an issue. Yeah. So how do you even get Cocoon here?
I think I'll just get greedy.
Oh yeah, you just flashed. Yeah. So like, if you have Merc crits here, you have a GA here, you have a Mount here, this doesn't happen. Like you just this doesn't happen. You just get the Lantern, you're gone because you're too tanky. It's just like it opens up the possibility that can happen if you build these items, right? Like for what? Like what's the trade-off? You do more damage. You don't need more damage. That's the big thing here. So yeah.
Yeah, we lose the game here.
Oh, you lose the game here. What the hell?
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
I think it was my fault because I went top there.
All right, let me just see. What the fuck? I thought this game was over. All right, so you still have supers mid. Okay, clear this out. Clear this out. Okay, so just back up now. Back up. You don't have your team with you. You don't want to walk through the river here. Like you have no idea what's going on here. Like you could just face check Cassie and you're dead. Face check Elise doing Scuttle and you're dead. Like super scary. Don't walk by yourself here. Okay. Okay, clear that. Yeah, you don't need to go for this hop wave at all. Like it's in a good spot already, and like you can die. Like you can get like collapsed on, but like if like people weren't showing. But like they're all.
I guess I wanted to set it up to push the wave.
Yeah, if you needed like an item or something, like maybe like, but like you already have your item. Like the wave is okay. Like the wave is gonna push already. Like you guys have so many turrets on them. Okay. And now you can't get into this fight because you don't have enough stats to get in, and they just dive your team. And wow, yeah, you actually just can't fight here. And he's dead too. Cassidy. And yeah, honestly, like you probably can't defend this, but like if you had any chance, you probably should have just bought GA with your money and then just like went in on them. That would have been like your like best hope. Okay, so the main things about this game, overall, like so there's a little bit of everything. The lane phase, the back is really bad. The getting dove is really bad. This trade in particular, where you're walking through the creeps, is bad. So other than that, like overall, the lane is fine. You just need to clean up like some of your decision making, mainly like when you're getting dove and like the dragon stuff, and then like when you're holding your wave and stuff. Like your mechanical like attack move, whatever, looks fine. Like you understand auto E. Like it's weird. Like it seems like you knew auto E is like how you trade, but sometimes you like don't listen to yourself and like go like way too deep through like creeps to like auto and stuff. But it's like auto E is your trading. Like that's your trade. Like you don't extend it unless they walk through your E to extend the trade on you. All you do is auto E because like no champion can really respond to that. That's all you want to do over and over and over. Just watch your waves a little bit more than you do, because two of the big mistakes that happened in this lane were because you weren't watching your wave. The first one was when you didn't freeze the wave in front of your turret, and the second one was when you went to do Cloud Drake instead of fixing your wave, and it ended up putting you in a bad base that put you in a position to get dove and give up turret. And that was like the big thing. Aside from that, not much else about the lane. You got handed a lot of kills, just by like their team doing some like really questionable stuff that got you going for the snowball. Obviously that death we talked about in detail is really bad. Then you guys pick up kills, and then the game transitions after this death into grouping stage a bit. You guys get some picks middle. Like you're mechanically like okay in these fights. Like most of the time, like when it's like a front to back fight, you're hitting what's in front of you. You don't go You're just hitting what's in front of you, and that's fine. As far as the biggest issue for you goes outside of lane, is that you're way too greedy from what I saw. Like, a lot of times you're just like going like hella deep for things that you don't need to go for. Like, this is like part of it. Obviously the one at bottom was another part of it. And there's like one more, I believe. Let me find it. Just and like.
Oh well, the part where I get flash cocoon is also.
Yeah, where you get flash cocoon, and even this mid one where you just stay and get cocooned, I believe, or like Elise just like walks up to you or something, and you just don't back up early enough. Yeah, you have to get bailed out by Lantern. Like, you're just too greedy. Like, part of it might have been like how fed you were this game, but like your positioning is just like super like forward in like all of these fights, and like you don't need to be as far forward as you are in a lot of these. Like, this one's a little bit more acceptable. Like, you kind of get baited. Taking the Lantern was already like a really bad idea, but that one's a little bit different because you're kind of just following your team. But like, you're just too greedy in like a lot of these fights, and like sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. What you need to understand is that like in a game like this where you're so fed, the worst thing that could happen is you die, not that you don't get the kill. Like, and especially like flashing for a kill that you do like a few times. I can't find the like exact example. Is it this one? Where you, yeah, okay, this one where you like flash forward for a kill. Or where do you flash? Do you flash away? Okay, you flash away. Never mind. Okay, but I just want to get, okay, so I don't have a visual example, but what I want to make sure you know, especially for someone who plays like as aggressive as you, let me just put it to you this way. Would you rather have 300 gold, or would you rather have your flash?
A flash, of course.
Of course, right? So that's something you want to take into account whenever you use your flash to flash forward for a kill outside of the lane phase, right? Because if you're going to flash forward for a kill, first off, that probably means the team fight is already kind of over. If you're in a position as an AD carry where you're flashing forward for a kill, you probably won the fight already if you're in a position where you can do that. And two, like, it's better to not flash forward for a kill if you're already going to get like what you're going for. So let's say like you're doing Baron, right? And they fight you, your team wins the fight, you already have 2 kills, maybe 3, and you can get another kill if you flash forward. But what is that kill, except maybe if it's on the jungler and no one else can zone him or something, like, it's not worth it. Because at the end of the day, it's just 300 gold for a kill. And in it, like, so, and you won't have that flash for the next team fight. You'll have 300 extra gold, but like you said yourself, would you rather have 300 gold or your flash in the next team fight? You know, you having flash or not having flash might be the difference between winning or losing the next team fight. Whereas that 300 gold towards your next item is almost never going to be the reason you win or lose a team fight once you're past like lane phase. Lane phase, it's different because you want to get the snowball going. You know, you flash your kills in lane, whatever. That's different. But like once you're in the team fight stage, like you need to be a lot more like conservative, like with how you position. Because like once you're outside of lane, it's not like just, oh, my flash is up, use it. It's like, I don't want a team fight without my flash, and I don't want to use my flash unless I have to. But you constantly like put yourself in these positions where it's like, I have to flash or I'm dead. Whereas you should be putting yourself in positions where you're hitting, and then you have the choice at the end of the fight. Is it worth it to flash forward to get this kill? Will we be able to get turret if I get this kill, if I flash for it? Or like, you put yourself where you're safe in the beginning of a fight, and then you flash away so they can't kill you, and then you win the fight off that. Like, you don't want to be, okay, put myself in an aggressive position. Okay, they dove me. I have to flash away. You want to, like, you want to just make them come to you and, like, play off of, like, what they do. You don't want to, like, give it to them and then have to react. Like, you want to make them have to, like, you want to make it difficult for them to, like, get your summoners and kill you and stuff rather than just, like, play up. Okay, flashes up, use it this time. Flashes not up this time, I'm dead. Like, that's kind of, like, how you're playing. You're just, like, you play like the same way whether your flash is like up or down. And it's just like, if it's up, it's up. and it's down, it's down. Like, and that's kind of like the way you play. And that's like a bad mentality to be in. Like, you want to like change the way you play with and without your summoners. Like, instead of just like playing the same way the whole time, because you do have to play differently when you don't have your flash. You know, when you do have your flash, yeah, you can be a bit more daring and stuff, but like that's just like a luxury. You know, you don't want to do that every time, you know, unless you have to. Because like your team wasn't weak in this game, you know, like you were definitely the most fed person on the team, but you weren't the whole team, you know, like Malphite has 10 fucking kills and Kha'Zix had like 7, and Orianna was like not super useful, but he wasn't worthless either. So like you wanted to like you just needed to play like more respectful of like the enemy team than you did. And then like at the very end, like it's not completely your fault. Like yeah, your team, like yeah, you shouldn't have been top at this last team fight, but like at the same time, like your team also shouldn't have been like where they were to get caught. It's a fault on like both of you. But like this isn't like losing the game off this is like not like what you should be beating yourself up over it. Like, cause like sometimes this just happens, you know. Even if you're with your team, sometimes it's something that happen. Like maybe Orianna, or like someone just gets caught, and like even if you're with your team and like the best case scenario, you just get a team fight off of it. Like there's no guarantee you would have even won this team fight even if you were there. So like this is not something you should be like looking at too much in the future. Like yeah, you probably should have been top, and your team also shouldn't have been as far up middle as they were. But like the bigger thing to take into account is like not playing so reckless when you're so important to your team, and just like as far as lane phase goes, just like being more aware of like the position that you're in the lane. You have any questions before we wrap this up?
Should I always, as an AD carry, just in team fights attack the one who is like in front of me?
Pretty much all the time. There's some weird cases where like let's say you're playing like I don't know, like Tristana, Lucian, lol, or like I don't know, like Xayah, and like let's say you're like not that fed, but like the rest of your team is fed, and like one person on their team is really fed. Like something you can do. This was like probably the biggest thing on Lucian back when he was like a real champion. You would like go in as Lucian and just like trade yourself for like the other AD carry, or like trade yourself for like their mid, or like whoever like the most important team person on their team is. Like you would just kill yourself to kill them, because like you know like if they're out of the fight, like the rest of your team is gonna win the fight. But aside from like really weird cases like that, or like when you're like Tristana and like you can jump into the back and kill someone real quick, then jump out again. Yeah, you just hit what's in front of you. Basically, as Varus, you always hit what's in front of you.
Okay, and about laning phase, how do I like identify more like what matchup should I win, where should I trade, and stuff like that? Because from I've always been like really scared of champions like Tristana, Xayah, like those kind of people just come up to you, and if they get a good trade on you, they just beat you up constantly.
The biggest thing is you just don't let them trade, or you just make sure you trade in a way that like they can't trade back. So for every champion, this is different, right? So for example, like Varus, like I said like many times throughout this, you just auto E, right? There's nothing either champion can really do to you if you auto E them. Let's say like Ashe, you just like auto W or just like W, like they can't really trade back. It's too long range of a poke. Xayah, it's like you Q auto E, right? And you get the root and just back up and stuff, or you can like go forward off the root, you know, up to you. It's just like every champion has a way they trade, and you just need to identify how they trade, and then just like think about it in your head, right? So like whenever I play against a Tristana, I know the way Tristana has to trade, right? She has to pop the E on me, and then in order to get a good trade, she has to pop it on me, right? So all I think about when I'm playing against Tristana is I need to just make sure I don't let her pop the E on me, and I'll be okay. So if I'm playing like Varus against Tristana, all I do is I auto E. And then if I'm playing, let's say like Lucian against Tristana, I go for Q double shot, or like E double shot Q. And then if he E's me, then I just back up. And if he doesn't E me, then I can keep playing up until he E's me, and then I back up. Because I know that's how he wants to trade, and I just don't let him trade that way. It becomes a little bit more complicated when there's like a support. Obviously, like you have to also watch out. So let's say if they have like a Leona or something, obviously you have to keep all of their like how you want to trade with the enemy AD in mind. as well as like making sure you're not in range to get like Leona E'd or something. But like for the most part, just like that's just how you simplify it. It's like you look at their support, you look at their like their AD, and it's like how do they want to play the lane? You just think about it real quick, because like you're at the elo where like you should know like generally like what the champions do at least. Maybe you don't know how like every matchup is, but you know like what is Leona gonna do? Well, Leona tries to E and all in, right? What does Alistar do? He tries to all in. What does DrHell do? He tries to walk up play or he goes for a hook. And like what do the AD carries do? AD carries do? Like you know like basically like at like a basic level like how they want to trade, right? Every AD carry has like their optimal like kind of trades. And you just like you think about that and you're like, okay, I try not to let them do that. Like I'm against Lucian, don't line up for the Q. I'm against Tristana, don't let him blow up E. I'm against Varus, don't get auto E'd. You know, I'm against Xayah, don't get rooted. Like you just kind of think about that, and then you think about how you can prevent them from doing those. And some champions, it's easier than others, right? Lucian, you have a dash to get out where the fuck you want, and Varus, you just auto E, and they're stuck in a slow field, and they can't chase you to trade. So, like, it is different on every champion, but, like, you just generally, you kind of know what they do, and you just try not to let them do it.
Oh yeah, and how do like basic rotations go? Like let's say I get the first tower in bot lane, should I just always go like mid lane or top lane, try to get the tower there or kill there?
Pretty much, yeah. If you're like, if your jungler is just like playing off you, like okay, like if your jungler is just like playing off you over and over, like you can just push up to their tier 2 and fight 3v3. If like the rest of your lanes are doing okay, but generally that's not what's gonna be happening. So generally you just go top lane after you get bot turret, and you just break top turret, and then you break mid turret. Sometimes you go mid first if mid is really low already, or if your mid laner is just like either winning really hard or losing really hard, so you can get him out of the lane and into a side lane. But for the most part, you just go top and take top turret, and then you take mid turret, and then you just go from there. And then like if it's really hard to get mid turret because they have like I don't know like Ziggs or something, or someone who just like clears the wave over and over, so you can't hit the turret, then you just try to get rift, and then you get mid off rift, and then dragon.
Oh, okay.
Dragon, if it's important, you usually stay bottom to get that before you swap up to top. If it's like fucking Cloud Drake like it was in this game, you just go top. You don't care about that shit in solo queue.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, not really.
Okay. So you want to schedule again, or you have any questions? Just message me, and I'll be happy to answer.
Yeah. One more question.
Yeah. What's up?
How is there like the Patreon thing?
Oh, yeah.
The 20
so
thing. Is it in coaching hours or is it still in coaching sessions?
It's sessions.
Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to make that clear because the others say session and that one says hour. So
yeah, it's kind of like I don't really care about like. So I only added that because like at the beginning I just like I didn't really like this is like an hour and a half or something, like I don't really care, it's like whatever. But like it started to get to a point where like people came to me with like 60-minute replays, and I like I want to go through the game, right? But like at the same time, if I go through a 60-minute replay, it takes like 2.5 hours. So I was just like, okay, if you have like a long replay, like I might not like give you like a 2.5 hour session. Like I'm just gonna try to cut it to like 1 to 1.5 all the time. That's the only reason I added that. Like if it's like this is like a normal game, right? Like a 30-minute like VOD review, and like I talk for like an hour, hour and a half. Like that's whatever. Like I don't mind, because like at the end of the day, I just want to make sure I cover like what's important in the game, so you understand like what to fix. Just so like it's just more so like people don't give me 55-minute replays every time, because that gets really annoying. But yeah.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Good luck in your games, dude. I'll see you around.
Yeah, thanks.